Hello everybody and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're back today for another episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. It's episode 13, so it's feeling particularly lucky today. I'm looking forward to it. This is like the Keeper's special episode, I think. And suddenly the way that things are set up are set to be pretty good for me today. So I'm super excited about that. But let's go around the cast and the crew. Let's figure out who we are and who we're playing today. And let's start over there with Greg. How's it going, Greg?
Doing well. I think my internet's acting up again. Shocker, everybody. You know, pick your jaws up. I am going to just make this brief and just say I'm here. Can't wait to play. Hopefully the internet holds. How are you doing, honey? I'm Marcus Jordan, by the way. Honey?
Well, hi. I'm Catherine Jordan, and I'm super excited about today. And nothing bad is going to happen. But yeah, I'm just ready with my... what was it? Preemptive self-defense. It's ready. I'm ready.
Totally legal, huh? Totally fine. And Tom, how's it going today, my friend?
It's going pretty well, thank you. It's going pretty well. I'm looking forward to getting into the shoes of Dr. Lucy and Ernest again. It looks like the gentleman we just met wants to educate us. You know, he's showing us a book. So that's nice. Maybe we can learn something. I mean,
he's going to educate you.
He's going to educate us. So as a learned individual, Lucian is, he's going to be rather interested to see what he's going to learn. But yeah, can't wait for us to start.
That'll be fun. And who is this? Do my eyes deceive me? It's Jonathan Pruitt. Pruitt, how's it going today, my friend?
Oh, it's going well. Well, you know, it's Wednesday. It's time to kick off my 9 hours of gaming. And thought I'd do so with a little change of pace. Sometimes you get tired of your face, so you have to change it a little bit. So
I do.
Koskov has decided to go undercover. And that's why he has shaved his beard. But as you can tell, even after immediately shaving, already has 5 o'clock shadow because he's a man, damn it.
Amazing. He needs no more introduction. And Dom, how's it going today, my friend?
It's great. I'm also transitioning to a new face and a new look for Tennessee Gray. He'll have a beard in about 14 months if I don't shave, so slow process, but we'll get there. I'm looking forward to today. I was telling Greg that if I recall, last week we ended with all of us failing pushed stealth rolls, all of us. And then there's a book, and there's a car, and there's a house full of culty guys. So, yeah, I'm excited about all the possibilities.
Endless, yeah, endless. Yeah, no, I am very much looking forward to catching up with some of the madness and all of the crazy donations that came in last week as well, which I have not forgotten about, the tiny versions of yourselves. But before we get to that today, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. The first of which is we are sponsored today by fantasygrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. You can go and download that for free on Steam or via their website to play your own games of Call of Cthulhu on. And whalinggames.co.uk sell some incredible D&D minis and Warhammer minis and tabletop board games at up to 20% off the retail value. So go ahead and check those guys out. And last but not least, our sponsor for this week is Dice Envy. You can go to diceenvy.com. You can sign up for their subscription box, which is a monthly set of dice which gets sent to you. Some of the mystery dice. You can get some higher packages. Play start at $5. Get dice sent to you for $5 every month. It's a damn good deal. So definitely go and check those guys out, diceenvy.com. And of course, you guys can interact with today's game. Go retweet that tweet to support the show, and of course, donate to affect the game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and oh so much worse, my friends. And thank you to Jill Odin, has already donated £10 to give a magic item to Marcus that I will reveal shortly. Boy, I've got so many magic items to give you guys. You're going to be so screwed. I mean, they're going to be super helpful and with no side effects. Just a good old +1 magic item. It's just going to be good. But anyway, I'll catch you guys up on what happened last week on the show because, oh boy, have we been getting shit done recently as a team. I feel like just every week we've been achieving and knocking out our goals and setting targets and just knocking them down one by one. Until the end of the episode where things take a really bad turn. But anyway, the it seems like when Marcus left, everything went bad. It's almost as if when he's there, everything's going well, and suddenly he wasn't there. Anyway, the party have decided to investigate Miser House last episode, which is in the dreadful town of Morton-on-the-Naze, in the dreadful place known as Essex, where I come from. And this is, of course, where they believe their investigation into Edward Gavigan will come to a head. It's out on this deserted little island. They managed to get a boat out there into the darkness and the mist. And suddenly it came along some Essex pirates. There was a whole thing there. Just Lucy and Ernest seamlessly, flawlessly affected the accent of those from Essex, who, sidebar, are also the entire cast of Pirates of the Caribbean. In case you didn't know, they actually filmed Pirates of the Caribbean on Morton-on-the-Naze. It was a whole thing. But anyway, they saw Thomas Kinery coming along in a car through the fog. As they got turned around and lost for several hours, they managed to disguise themselves and deceive Mr. Kinery through the darkness that it wasn't them, and that they were just some lost sailors. They managed to follow the car with Kinery and 3 others back to Miser House. They've broken their way in through the servants' entrance, and they've listened with some successful listen checks, I think from Tennessee Gray. And they heard that Kinery is expecting that Edward Gavigan will arrive at some point, and he wants the house to be ready for his arrival. Now, whatever that means, whether Kinery's working with Gavigan or if they're laying an ambush for him to try and kill him, has been a little bit debated by the party. But the one thing that wasn't debated by the party was that they should go in and explore more. So they snuck in through a window, went up the servants' staircase, and miserably failed their stealth checks. So, at that point, they decided to push their stealth checks to try again at a harder difficulty. And if they succeeded, well, good luck. And if they failed, well, that's some pretty bad luck. Needless to say, we all know how that went. And at the top of the staircase, as they were arriving upwards, they saw Thomas Kinery, who had a book in his hand. And he was reading from the book and looked up at them and said, "Stop right there." So that's where we are about to pick up with the party, and everyone knows in Call of Cthulhu, books are just totally normal, fine things to read. He's probably trying to give you a lesson in algebra or something. I don't know, whatever's in books. I don't know. But we instead are going to pick up, I think, with Marcus here. Or maybe Greg's internet is kind of dying. I don't know. Greg, you with us? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. So we'll take Greg's internet.
Oh, I think he's back.
He's
Greg.
back? Greg, hello. No. Now you're muted.
That's not going to be for long. I can see.
You can see what, Greg? You can see what?
Don't go towards
What
the
do
light.
your Marcus eyes see?
All right. Well,
Greg,
we'll
blink
pick up with
twice
Marcus
if-
in a little bit. There's something coming from inside the TV. Anyway, Marcus is somewhere else. He's not currently with the party, so we're yet to see where he is. We'll pick up with Catherine, Lucian, Koskov, and Tennessee Gray. So the scene for you guys, you've been sneakily going up a flight of stairs. The servants' entrance in Miser House, which is this big, old English kind of manor. And you thought no one had heard you. You know there are at least 4 people in this house, one of which is Thomas Kinery. And as you turn the corner of the staircase, he's at the top of the stairs, looking down at you. And he has a book in his hand that he appears to have been reading from. And he warns you with a finger and says, "Stop right there." What do you guys do?
I stop and hide my face.
We're in disguise. We're
Like,
disguised, right?
We are there.
You're just like,
Pretty much. Pretty much. I look away.
Yeah, well,
I
maybe
think
we're disguised.
I don't want him to know who I am.
Yeah. It's that salty pirate from
The
earlier.
perfect disguise. Just...
Yeah. Well, I'm already disguised as a salty pirate, so I'm going to stick with that motif and go, "Arr."
That's just...
Is that not his
beautiful.
line?
I stole it.
We've stopped, right? All of us have just stopped.
Yeah,
right?
Everyone appears to have stopped, I think, yeah.
And is Thomas Kinery, is he saying anything else? Is he doing anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to know what you guys were doing, exactly, if anyone was about to try and murder him.
How far away is he?
He's at, like, the top of the staircase. Top of the staircase, so, I mean, at any point, 10 feet away at most, I would say.
Koskov is effectively holding his action, and if he starts to pull that book up, or anyway, if does anything, then he might go kill him.
Yeah. Okay. On the book itself.
Kind of holding herself too, ready to spring, but she's stopping. Like,
yeah. On the book itself, you can see that it's not just a booklet he has. On top of the book, what look to be 5 little figurines, and these are the equivalent of like 28mm like Warhammer models, and they bear some representation to the 5 of you. In terms of, you can spot one has like a hat, another has Catherine's hair. One of them looks like he's carrying a doctor's bag. One of them's got Marcus's sort of like floof going on, and the other one clearly resembles Koskov's facial hair when he had facial hair. And his finger seems to precariously be sort of swaying between the 5 of them as he speaks to you. What are you doing here? Do not lie.
We took a wrong turn. We'll be
Dr.
going now.
Ernest, you're embarrassing yourself.
Shit.
He keeps the pirate voice full of shit. It's like, shit.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, if we're being
Before the
honest, I mean, how honest do we have to be? Little honest, big honest.
Well, we could say we are investigating,
Yeah, we are investigating.
which is what we're doing.
Yeah, what good doctor said.
Yes.
What are you doing here is bigger question.
What do you think I'm doing here? You're the investigators after all.
reading?
It looked like you were reading and playing with little dolls that look like us. So some kind of Russian nesting thing. You tell me. I'm investigating after all.
You look at the models, and it seems as though there is small amounts of movement within each of them. They almost look, it's a little bit like Toy Story, but on a smaller scale. They seem to have like animation to them, which he seems to be playing with his sort of fingers, as though he's puppet master. And yes, I suppose I have been playing with my figurines. Was expected that you were to come here at some point. Though, I'll be honest, none of us suspected it would be quite this easy to capture you. Rather embarrassing.
Hey.
I mean,
Shoot.
are you still in process of capture, or I'm confused because we are not captured.
Lucian's gonna look
Yes,
around
so
for
right.
anyone else that's like watching us, like maybe with guns or something like that.
No one else is supposed to be here.
Seems unusual trap, I suppose you could say.
Quite unusual, Dr. Ernest. You see, normal methods do not work against you. You've been quite stubborn. You've had to take things in a different direction. And he brings his hands into a fist, and all four of you suddenly feel your arms wrap around themselves as if in a hug with all of your strength. So imagine hugging yourself with all of it. It's really quite painful as you like pull your the muscles in your arms, a sudden jerk of movement which is against what your brain is telling them to do. And you also feel yourself being pushed back against the wall as well as you throw yourselves backwards. And Kinery, still playing with the puppets, well, you see, sometimes it's best to let the prey snare themselves, Mr. Romanovich.
What the bloody hell? Ugh.
Come with me. And he does this sort of motion with his hand, this sort of come hither motion, and you find yourselves, jauntily moving towards him. It's quite zombie-like in fashion. The movement is not regular in any way.
And no matter any amount of effort, we can't break free of this effect?
It feels right now as though whatever he's doing with his hands and these puppets is clearly has you guys in a bind. You're fighting against your own body. And it's quite clear that there's something unnatural going on with these puppets, and his fingers sort of trace them along. You could roll, anyone who has an occult, a Cthulhu Mythos score, which I think is just Catherine at this point.
Oh my gosh, it is just me.
Yeah, your Mythos.
Well, okay then. Let's do that. Nope.
It's certainly something. Whatever it is, though, you don't know. This would certainly stink to you of something which is Eldritch or magic, and most likely it's dark magic as well.
Ugh.
He continues to move you, and you'll move down the stairs as Kinery takes you down there. And soon the three other men are with him. You may recognize them to be ones that were in the Penhew Foundation as well. You recognize one of the guards in particular, Catherine, who had spotted you coming out of Gavigan's secret chamber.
With my
Or just Gavigan's room. And the two others you may vaguely recognize as well as being guards from the Penhew Foundation. And he, with this continued sort of come hither motion, pulls you guys down towards a basement area, which two of the men fly open. A set of stairs lead downwards, and the stench of burnt hair becomes, just reeks out from underneath. Kinery turns back to you with an evil glare as he clearly recognizes that you recognize this smell. Familiar?
Now look here, Kinery. You don't have to do this. You're making a mistake.
Really? What kind of mistake might that be?
Oh, the kind of mistake where you miss out on an opportunity of the lifetime.
Bah.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Tell me.
Well,
and you hear from down below he's hungry, I think.
We have our own owl eyes, Kinery. Owl eyes that are very strong, that are very involved in some of the greater affairs that I suspect you might be interested in. You ever heard of a pair of mirrors?
His eyes shoot towards you there for a second. Mirrors?
I think you know what I'm talking about, Kinery. Pair of artifacts.
I I'm familiar with these mirrors. Tell me, what is it you know about them?
Oh, just their location.
Don't tell him, Tennessee. We don't need to, Never mind, sorry, I'll shut up.
Well, you see, I have versions of you here. They can tell me anything I want. And you will tell me anything I want you to as well. And he places a pin into the side of the little Tennessee doll's side of his ear. And Tennessee, you just feel this exquisite pain. It is searing, just like lance through the side of your head. It's just like on fire for about 10 seconds. And then he pulls it back out again and places the pin back in his jacket top. So you see, we have ways of making you speak. Tell me, where are the mirrors? And I'll make it swift.
Tennessee spits once he can breathe again, spits off to the side, and he says, "The people I work for, they already thought of your ways. You make me talk. What they've triggered inside me goes off. I'll be dead before I can answer you. You want this information, you're gonna have to do this a different way."
Well, I suppose I would only need you.
Just wondering, Will, if Koskov tried to light his right hand on fire, does it happen? Does he have enough
you
control
could
over
roll
his...
me. You sense a resistance to it, and there would be a check involved.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try that here in a second, then.
Okay. Let me know when you want to do that.
Besides, Mr. Kinery, not only information, but we have power as well.
And then that's when he's just going to kind of like try to light his hand on
Try to
fire.
light it, yeah. Roll me a power. Power.
Oh, this is going to be bad. Yep.
You like strain at your, at your this little that constipated look comes on Costco's face for a second. And he sort of raises an eyebrow.
Ugh.
Not powerful enough, I'm afraid. You have been troublesome, certainly. And within your own realms you are powerful. But now you're in mine. You have no power here. So, Mr. Gray, I'll spend some time with you for a little while. The rest of you, though, I'm afraid you have a meeting with my very hairy friend.
That's not
And
how
he
this
does
is
a
going
little
to
sort
go
of like
down.
wafts the smell up towards you. Delicious.
If you want this information, Kinery, then you're going to let us all go, and you're going to let my friends go first. That's how this is going to go.
I'm afraid, Mr. Gray, you're mistaken. See, I have very clear instructions.
From?
You are not to leave here alive. Now, we can stay and he plays with his pen for a second, chat, if you want. Or we can make this far easier. Once you are dead, you see, I will extract your brains. They will be very useful to us. The information which they hold, even more useful.
Your instructions. From Gavigan?
Is that who you think I work for?
I don't know, I'm asking you. Since I'm about to die, I figure you could just do me a favor and tell me.
Very well, here's a little handout for you. Gavigan is old news. There's been a little power struggle in the cult for a little while now. Zara Shafiq thinks that she can play her hand and win, using you, no doubt, to try and get to Gavigan. Well, she's a fool. I'm the one who pulls the strings round here.
And who is it you answered to? Everyone answers to someone.
Something far greater than you or I. Now, I think it's time, don't you? Unless there's anything else.
Well, there's just one thing. And Tennessee is going to try to struggle to break free of this whole that, which I think he'll probably fail, but he's gonna try. Like
you can like struggle real hard, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Like he's trying to get his arms free of this hold.
Yeah, you sort of like struggle against the muscle spasms and end up sort of like frothing against the mouth for a little bit, and Kinery smiles. There is one thing, I suppose, that I suspect none of you can tell me. But somewhere in your brains may lay the answer. 1, 2.
You little suka.
Buckle my shoe. Who has been writing it?
It was me.
No,
It was Koskov.
it was
It
not.
was me the whole time. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
He
Kostigan, how could you?
Looks towards Catherine for a moment. Dunsmuir. Does that name mean something to you?
Oh, it certainly means a lot of things.
Tell me, I will give you another minute to live. The brain extraction process is dull.
Oh, I imagine it's incredibly boring. You should probably avoid it altogether. But Dunsmuir, oh, he's up to a lot of shit. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. Peru. Guessing New York in here as well.
Why? Who is it he serves?
Who he serves? Well, I've got theories. Nothing concrete yet. That's part of what we're investigating.
Too bad, Mrs. Jordan. A shame.
Might have something to do with maggots.
Ugh.
The Peruvian maggots. Ah, yes. Fascinating case. Mr. Ernest studied those for a long time. Did you learn anything interesting, Doctor?
Did I learn anything interesting? Well,
I mean, they were like fuck off huge maggots. You never said anything
Yeah.
like them. But
they didn't have any like special properties that, apart from them being huge.
I mean, there were parasites that lived.
Oh
in
yeah, they
human
lived
bodies.
off people, didn't they? They lived off
Yeah.
human people, didn't they? Yeah. Just that they were parasites. I needed more time.
You know, the one mistake you all made was failing to look into the deeper issues and bow yourself to something greater than you. This has been far too easy. If you had
Never.
cared to worship something bigger than you, loved something. And you can tell his face goes like into this ecstasy when he starts talking about it. Like he's an evangelical. Such a shame.
Well, why don't
Before
you sell
you-
me on?
Yes, before you do what you're going to do, why not try and tell us about this thing that you have given yourself to? Maybe we could be of service, or at least let us understand a little more.
I suppose I could. The one bad thing about this whole business is you never get to tell anyone all about it. Spread the good word.
Ah,
So
Now's your
frustrating dealing with idiots all of the time. I don't understand.
Well, Mr. Kinery, now is your chance. Who are we going to tell?
True enough. Well, you know, you've met it before. Not the great mess that was the father of maggots. That was the distraction. He lived inside Larkin. Professor, you met him in Peru, do you remember? Was there anything strange about him?
There's a few odd things about him.
What was he like to behold?
He had a good handshake, so that was something.
Not a huge amount, I suppose.
I suppose he never deigned to show himself truly to you.
He didn't like Dunsmuir.
Yes.
Yeah,
In fact, seemed rather scared of him.
yeah, fearful, like frightful little suka. That is bitch in Russian.
Master must have been weak, growing in strength. You helped feed him. For that I have to thank you.
Sure.
That is good to know. He catches himself in his daze for a moment. Well, thank you for that, my friends. It's the most interesting thing you've ever told me.
We have... What do you call it? This thing? If you wouldn't mind sharing.
Has no name that you or I could say. Languages they speak are unknowable to us. They're not understandable to us. We can barely see them, let alone truly understand them.
And what are you going to get out of this? Everlasting life, power, money, women, men?
Both?
Power itself is interesting and delightful in its own way, but true power is knowledge. And that is what they give us, Dr. Ernest. A sliver, fraction of their knowledge. Here, and he points towards the book. Texts like these.
Well, at least we can agree on that thing. I too agree knowledge is power.
I have no doubts that when they come, I will die. Just like the rest of them. But oh, what a glory it will be to die for them.
And then
I'm afraid I've lingered here far too long with you. I've been caught up in my own little daydreams and fantasies. I'm afraid that if I am to overcome Gavagan as the head of the cult, you will have to die. It has been ordained. So, I don't see any way out of this for you or I.
We could kill Gavagan for you.
He pauses for a moment. Really?
Yeah, it's easy. I snap his neck like twig. You're a cult leader now.
I suppose that is true, but the problem being that you would try and come back and kill me. We have been watching you. That is the way that you work. You are
not like
too petty to understand that what you would be doing would be true love. Expression of love to them and to the master. You would turn after you had done this act, come back to try and kill me.
Then you could sacrifice me then.
But perhaps then you would be stronger, Mr. Romanovich. Now you are weak. I would be a fool to let you go. Consider this. If you were in my position, would you let me go?
Pretty sure that's not how killing works. I've killed a lot of people, and you don't get any stronger after you kill, and more experienced maybe, but not stronger.
Well, look at it this way. You claimed it was so easy to catch us, nah?
Certainly.
Well, if you know we'll be coming back, it will be even easier. Da?
Perhaps. There have been several strange things, though, about a group of you. It is odd to me that you have not sworn yourselves to some master. For there are great powers which it seems that you can possess at times. Powers which guide you onwards, keep you alive against all of the odds. Your car, Mr. Grey, have you never considered the way which it constantly returns? The motorcycle, Romanovich. How and why does it keep returning? That fist of yours. Who blessed that to you? And why?
Well, I have given a lot of thought. I have never been godly, man, but there is something out there, and it has blessed me. I do agree. I just think that it is different from what you have.
Sometimes it's better not to know, Thomas, and I'm happy not to know.
Somewhere in your brains, you all know. I sense it. I can taste the knowledge on you. There's been
I just follow love.
And know where those mirrors are.
Mirrors. I sense that no one will ever find them.
But
If
we are
Dunsmuir has them,
said,
as I suspect, his powers would be great. He would be able to appear, disappear at will. Travel through time, perhaps erase himself from parts of time as well. Oh, to be him. Alas, if what you've told me is true, he is my enemy. And yet, perhaps, the enemy of my enemy. Dr. Ernest.
Yes?
Tell me where I could find that agent of the British government. The white hair.
I have no idea. He didn't give me an address. Have you checked Whitehall? That's where they tend to go.
No, it's something else. Not yet clear how his part plays out.
Look, all
Go
I'm
to have the
interested
knowledge
in-
of them, to have the clarity of the master, see through it all.
Look, all I'm interested in is finding out who did these murders and stopping them. That's it, so I can go back to my regular life as a doctor and live happily ever after.
Ernest, at this point, is it not clear to you that this quest will take your very life, perhaps more? The path on which you are on is one of no return, Dr. Ernest. All of us have chosen a path. We have walked it. There is no way back for any of us.
No,
You can
there's a
embrace
way back.
that. or
There's a
deny
deal
it.
that we can do here. If you give me information that instigates Cavigan and Shafiq, the British government will arrest them, done, dusted. You can be leader of this pharaoh culty kind of thing. I can go back to my practice. We can all go our separate ways and we live happily ever after.
The British government are of little interest to me. aside
Well,
from
exactly.
the
There you go. Well, the hair's the one that wants it. So if I give him who does the
Dr.
murders,
Ernest.
he will go away.
I have murdered over 20 men. Do you not think that I do not care about this investigation?
Sorry.
Only 20?
Eldritch.
It looked like maybe you had a larger
Higher
body
count?
count.
Oh, I mean in reference to the Egyptians.
Oh,
In truth,
Oh.
I do not remember how many have died along this road. Many more, no doubt.
Yeah.
Look, Thomas, I'm going to say this one more time because I don't think you're thinking this through. Now, you think Dunsmuir has these mirrors. I know where the mirrors are. If you let us go, I can tell you, you can take them. You'll have the power you want, the advantage against our enemy. But if you try to pry them from my brain, what's inside here, what's been done to me, is going to wipe that information. You'll never get it. So if you want that power, you have an opportunity right now. Let us go.
Problem is, Mr. Gray, I do not believe you could possibly know where the mirrors were truly held. I doubt that any of us could reach them, even if we tried.
I've seen them. I've touched them. I know where they are. You don't know me, Thomas. You don't know what I am, what I'm capable of.
Perhaps you are right. Perhaps you can know where the mirrors truly lie. I know. Sort this out. Speak with the master. He'll know what to do. Yes. Yes, clarity and truth will come from him, from them. I am but a mortal. Easily deceived, easily broken. I am nothing. They so much more. And he begins to read out some lines from his book in a tongue that you do not understand. Language which is barely comprehensible. It sounds like gibberish.
Can we move our arms now, or is
Yeah,
it still...
has his power waned?
Because he had
a
his
bit?
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Really?
say, I was gonna, when he starts doing that, I'm gonna try to break out. All of us, and whisper.
Oh, yeah.
"Oh."
Okay, so as he is casting the spell, you can roll a hard power.
Come on, come on, come on! Fuck! Nope.
So if I wanted to use a nat 20,
We would be playing a game of is it that 1 or is it that 20?
which 50-50 is much better than a hard success on a 55 starting. So I'm gonna use a nat 20.
Alright, let's roll a d2.
Yeah, I'm using
Sure.
a nat 20 as well.
I would like to use a net 20 as well.
Does everyone play a game of is it that 1 or is it that 20?
No, I've already failed. I'll take it.
What's the so a one is a 20, a 2 is a 1.
1 is a 1, 2 is a 20.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes more sense. All right.
So that's a 1 for Tennessee, 1 for Catherine. There, you get him out of the way. Did we go Coscos? There it is. And
Oh,
the 1
no.
for Mr. Romanovich.
I rolled a 2. Oh god, I hate this.
Hey, you gotta get through him.
Yeah.
you gotta learn that one. Okay. Okay, so Kinery begins to speak this chant, and all of you feel as bound as you did before while he chants it. And his voice rises to a crescendo. And as it does so, the group of you all feel your eyes suddenly shut as your eyelids just decide to close themselves off. And there is darkness, and then there is a sudden white light that you don't truly see because your eyes are closed, but even with your eyes closed, you can feel its intensity. And when you awaken, you are no longer together. And we'll begin with Dr. Lucy and Ernest.
Oh, great.
Lucky 13. I just had a feeling it was going to be a good one for me today. These rolls have played out well for me. I've got to thank Fantasy Grounds, our sponsor. Thank you for these dice rolls, Doug, for lining this all up for me nicely. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't speak for Fantasy Grounds, but fuck them.
I don't speak for them, but
I agree.
Yeah.
I concur with my esteemed colleague.
Yeah.
It really is the only virtual tabletop to play Call of Cthulhu as a keeper, my friend. So if
As a
go check
Is there
it out.
like a
Being
Call of
able to
Cthulhu
on
button where you
Tuesdays?
like?
I'm gonna say,
I've
yeah,
got a big
there's
red
a button.
evil button.
Yeah, I pushed it last Tuesday. I murdered a bunch, or yesterday I murdered a bunch of dogs. Everyone was sad. They all lost sanity. You know, it happens.
It's the whole thing. So it's just part of pre-production for us. So Lucian, Ernest, you are having a great time, my friend, because you are back in your office in London.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
outside you can hear the streets are busy and sounds of Big Ben is tolling noon. And describe to us what your office looks like here in London, because I don't actually think we've seen your office.
No, yeah, I don't think my office is. It's a very nice office. It overlooks the narrow street to it. He's got a very nice, long, thick mahogany desk. You know, like as they were cutting down the rainforest, he made sure to get a desk out of it. Inside, he's got kind of like in one corner has got an entire wall of bookcases full of medical books. It's got a globe there, and inside that's like luxurious kind of bronze brown wooden globe opens up for bottles of fine wines and whiskies. Very comfortable leather chairs around that area. But to the other side, you also see he's got somewhat like an examination table, I suppose you could say, but it's padded. It's not like hardwood or something. It's like a padded one that you get when you go to the doctors. And there's like a curtain, a red curtain that can be taken around so that in case he does have to do any examinations that he's able to do so. There is a very fine door at the front that's a nice oak door with small little Georgian kind of engravings on it. This basically bought it, which used to be probably a Georgian, quite a nice house. He just converted it into an office. There's another side door that goes to his own kind of little private air bathroom. Nice. The floors are all like nicely polished wood, and the ceilings does have. It is a chandelier, but it's not as grand as it's like a smaller version of the chandelier with a nice, again, more sculptures on the ceiling as well. Yeah, and it's very nice, very very pretty. Well, he thinks so anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely, it's pretty nice. You, however, recognize that you shouldn't be here, so you do recall the moments before you just arrived here with Thomas Kinery, and so finding yourself here is quite disturbing. The telephone rings.
I pinch
Yeah,
myself.
you pinch yourself and you're still here. The telephone rings.
Hello?
It's your secretary, whose voice you recognize. Hello, Dr. Ernest. There's someone here to see you. We wouldn't give a name. I'll send him right up then.
Yes, thank you. He's going to open one of his drawers and take out a revolver, close it, and then just pop it into his coat pocket, and then kind of... He's going to really look at this room and see if there's anything out of place that wouldn't be here, something unusual, anything at all. Is there anything there that seems out of place?
You'd probably spot hidden. It would be a hard one.
Yeah. How's my 45? Go on, give it a go. Let's give it a... Oh, 3! Extreme success.
When you, in the peripheral of your vision, everything is slightly blurrier than it should be. There's nothing you can quite look at and say that's wrong, but when you're not looking at something, it sort of blurs.
Okay.
As though your vision is obscured.
Okay. In that case, he's just going to wait until someone arrives.
Mm-hmm. There's a knock on the door a few moments later.
Come in.
a slender figure steps into the room. A very beautiful looking man with dark skin and who's wearing very little clothing. However, this man is around 7 feet tall, so insanely tall, and some of the broadest shoulders that you'd have seen. Despite that, he's wraith-like thin, incredibly thin. Like, this person should barely be able to move. Really long, distended arms, and a sort of like swollen belly as well, and sort of wrapped in what looks to be sort of wrappings and bindings. It's almost mummy-like in nature. And when you look at the person who enters into the room, you cannot make out a face. There is just a blur of darkness. And I'd like you to roll me a sanity check.
Of course you would. That, I think it is. Oh, I just pass. I mean, I literally just pass.
Awesome. Okay, you only lose 3 points of sanity as you look at this person, and it becomes too much to even dare to glare at this person in the face. You turn your eyes away from seeing the true nature of this person as they step into the room, and it's tough to say whether or not they're truly a person or not, and you sort of bow your head before them.
In that case, I'll get up and kind of turn my back and look out of the bay windows that I've got, and how can I help you?
I was sent for. They called for me.
And the figure steps closer towards you as you're going to the window. You can hear a footstep, but suddenly they are right behind you, almost as though they are hugging you from behind. And this figure, you can feel it has sort of like, if you look over your shoulder, you can feel it has hunched into the shape of you. This long, distended body moves in such a way which can form the shape of your body as it imprints itself, almost like a mattress. You know, when you see the imprint of your body when you look down at a mattress, it's doing that around you.
Can I move
Tell
away?
me, Dr. Ernest, what is it that I need from you?
I don't know. I don't know what you want. And I'm gonna see if I can move away from this thing.
It moves with you in a preternatural and strange way. It is always just over your shoulder, and you can feel the little hairs on the back of your neck constantly raise.
Who sent you? Who?
Kinery, of course.
Ah, yes. Are you his master? Is that who you are?
Yes, I am. And I am your master, too.
A name, perhaps, or what do you want of me? What is it that you...
My name is older than time itself. It is irrelevant to you. You can barely comprehend anything at all with your tiny little mind, Dr. Ernest.
Okay. So what is it that you want from me?
What is inside of your mind, of course.
Well, if you would like medical knowledge, I would more than happily give a lecture.
No, Ernest, what I need from you is inside.
And you feel sort of breath on the back of your neck go just upwards, where he's breathing into the back of your hair now.
Lucian's gonna have his hand on the gun he's hidden, and he's going to step away and turn and point the gun at him.
You point the gun at him and still unable to really look him in the face.
I I'll just look at his shoes, his feet. I don't know what you want, but I don't have it.
Somewhere in there, Dr. Ernest, you have met an enemy of mine, an opponent, a worthy one, Dunsmuir. He has called himself to you. He is something far more. Managed to hide himself within a dark recess of your brain. I wish to extract that knowledge, Dr. Ernest. Do not struggle now. There is nothing you can do to prevent this.
Well,
Come, Ernest. Embrace me.
He's gonna cock the gun. I just don't come near me.
Ernest, you will barely feel anything.
No. Ernest, he kind of tilts his head for a bit and looks at the gun and then looks at him. I suppose this wouldn't work on you one way or another, would it?
Do you say that to him?
Yeah.
He doesn't respond.
Ernest, come. Let me show
I fire.
Yeah, it does nothing.
It just goes right through him?
Yeah.
Well, I had to try, didn't I? But
he steps towards you suddenly and he plants a kiss on your forehead. And the kiss is long and wet. And you can feel inside his mouth a sandpaper-like tongue writhing against your forehead.
The second that happens, Lucian's going to take the revolver and go like that and blow his head off, his own head off.
Yeah, it passes right through as the kiss continues. Your eyes close, and suddenly before you is a vision, and you're back in one of your offices, but instead you're in New York, and you're watching yourself as you murder your secretary. It's as though you are a fly on the wall, but you can sense the presence still with you, the creature with the long distended arms that just spoke with you in your other office. You are watching yourself as you murder your secretary, and on a chair in the desk, by the desk, there is a man who's wearing a hat and has an umbrella which isn't up but is laying across his legs. And the man is saying to you, "Now, I want you to write on the wall, Ernest. 1, 2, buckle my shoe." And you watch as you kill the woman and begin to paint. As the man with the umbrella stands up, throws his umbrella over his shoulder, and steps out of the room. And the voice next to you says, "Do you not see, Ernest? This man, Dunsmuir, is the architect of your demise, of all of your pain and misery." You watch as Costigan and Tennessee come into the room and then eventually try and understand what's going on, and then you run out.
What is Dunsmuir?
Oh, Ernest, he is something a bit like me, I suppose. More of an it than a he. And in order to defeat something like him, you need something like me. Do you not understand? Ernest, the power which I have to show you this, to bring you here, to protect you from Dunsmuir.
I don't want any of this.
That is not your choice anymore, Dr. Ernest.
He made me kill her.
Did you not see, Ernest? You are overcome by the sign. Dunsmuir left for you. And then he removed himself from that part of time and from your memory. He has met with you before on many occasions. The terrible things you have done, he has led you to them. And he will keep doing that unless you are protected.
And you're back in the room in London again.
And you can offer that protection.
Of course, Ernest. I am strong.
But what's the price?
I was with you in Peru, inside of Larkin. I was weak then. Weak after, still, the fall from Makuts, when you defeated me. And then, I rebuild, with flesh and blood, until I am here. The great work has been done on the dig site at Giza, where they have found me, and they have begun to rebuild me, Ernest. And so I offer you this, the power to protect yourself from Dunsmuir.
And what is the price of this protection?
The price, Ernest. Oh. It comes when I say it does.
Yeah. You see, the thing with protection like that, it always comes with the price. And price that I'm probably not worth, that I don't want to take.
Ernest, you want most to leave this, do you not? Leave it all behind you. To have a quiet life, settle down, have a wife, children, breed. Those are the things which you wish for, is it not?
Perhaps.
I can promise you that, Ernest.
But the cost is too high. No, I won't do it.
Ernest. Ernest. Please reconsider. I am begging you. I need you, Ernest. I want you. Come. Why not reconsider? You'd be with me all of the time, whenever you needed me. Protect you from Dunsmuir.
I
You would
will
have a quiet life after all of this was over.
As odd as it might sound, I would much prefer to rely on myself than some demonic whatever the hell you are.
I am no demon, Ernest.
I don't know what
I
you
was
are.
once a man. Then I became much more.
And then you became much less. Did you forget Peru?
I was weak then, Ernest. Like a little baby, out of the womb, begging, screaming, crying for its mommy. I have made mistakes, Ernest. I never wanted to hurt you, and I never did hurt you. It was Dunsmuir. He is the bad man, Ernest. Very bad. I just want to protect you.
Well, this is one mistake that I won't be taking. No.
That makes me so sad, Ernest. The things I am going to have to do to you now are, well, unpleasant for you.
Well, I guess you got to do what you got to do.
I suppose so.
He's gonna pour
Yes.
himself a whiskey.
I have some more of your friends to meet, Ernest, and then I will be back for you.
You do that. The answer will still be the same.
And the creature is, as soon as it was here, it's left you.
My bloody dog. He'll
So-
basically get a huge bottle of whiskey, sit down at his desk, and just constantly keep pouring himself one.
Okay. So, Lindy, you're back at home in house that you have, say in the States, maybe with Marcus. Marcus isn't there right now, but what does Catherine's like room look like? You just she have a space to herself.
Well, she's got like there's like the master bedroom, but there'd probably be like a music room next to it, like adjoining, kind of like one of the archways, where she'd have her violin set up with her music, and then it's also a music room, as in there's just shit tons of weapons hidden everywhere around the room, where she does all her maintenance and stuff with some very nice blinds and curtains, so no one can really see in while she's doing that kind of stuff. And she'd probably just be, assume Marcus is working, I guess, maybe doing some stuff, and so she'd probably just be practicing her violin.
Okay. As you're playing the violin, you realize that there is suddenly a harmony coming from somewhere. And the harmony is coming from downstairs.
She's gonna keep playing, but there shouldn't be harmony coming from anywhere else in the house because Marcus doesn't play the violin and no one else should be in here. And so she's kind of walking over. She uses her foot to kind of kick up the pillow on like the window seat, kind of reach down, like there's a bunch of weapons there, some guns and some knives, and then she'll like get to the end of the verse, pick them all up, and then like Rambo cautiously walk down the stairs.
The symphony sort of finishes itself off as you get downstairs, and you too can roll me a sanity check as you see
Okay.
the being. Okay, nice. You'll only lose 6 points of sanity.
Oh, okay. That's great.
As the face blurs and you're barely able to see this man in wrappings and bindings, tall, languid, and it moves towards you with a grace
What the
and
fuck are you
suddenness.
doing in my house?
Moves towards you with a grace and suddenness which belied its former musical serenity. And suddenly it's behind you as well, just where your neck is, breathing down.
Stabbity.
Yeah, your protestations and attempted
Not the
murder
first time an
do not seem
assassin
to...
has come into the house.
Yeah, do not appear to... this creature does not appear to mind them in any way.
Catherine, please, let us take a seat and talk.
Who the bloody hell are you? Stabbed you like 6 times and you're not even bleeding. What are you doing in my house?
We are not really here, Mrs. Jordan. I just wanted you to feel at home when I came. Somewhere safe. Somewhere you would feel protected.
I don't think I found a place on Earth that feels that way after my line of work. So, I mean, I
Well,
guess we're
now
not
you have
close enough.
found me, Mrs. Jordan. Or perhaps I have found you.
I'm married.
Oh. Yes, Marcus. He is not so well right now.
What have you done with Marcus?
I have not done anything with Marcus, nor do I wish to. But my opponent in this game of chess that we are playing, Dunsmuir, he is not as fond of Marcus as I am.
I don't know how you know all this, but no, Dunsmuir kind of hates me and Marcus's guts. Because we threw him in prison one time, and I didn't kill Marcus, and he paid for that gig. I mean, I gave him I returned the money, so I didn't, you know, job not done, but...
Oh.
I don't really care.
I very much doubt that is why he is still after you. But nonetheless, you must understand that Dunsmuir, he wishes you all ill, has controlled your fates for a long time now. Bound you all together in Peru for his machinations.
So you know about Peru too?
I know everything past. Some of the future as well, Miss Jordan. Some
Regular
things, however,
fortune
are
teller then,
clouded
aren't
from
ya?
me by Dunsmuir. He hides in plain sight, travels places that I cannot go until my power is stronger.
Right. Alright then. Yeah, Dunsmuir's a fuckhead. We don't like him. What do you want me to do,
Then
kill
put
him?
this in a way that you may understand, Mrs. Jordan. I want Dunsmuir dead, and I think you could help me to kill him.
Well, I definitely. At this point, he's in a pain in the neck enough. I wouldn't object to having him dead.
I have
Definitely
many
stab him if I saw him.
followers, but none quite as competent as some of you. Kinery is replaceable.
Were you in Larkin, in Peru?
Some part of him was me. I did not reveal myself for fear of destruction. But now I have grown stronger.
I heard you talking about Dunsmuir down there with what's-his-face. He didn't talk at all.
Some was me, some was Larkin. It is difficult to distinguish the two.
Right.
Parts of me bled into parts of him. He was confused and weak.
And now he's dead, so you didn't need him anymore or something?
Correct. My power grew stronger than Larkin was able to withstand.
You look a little frail.
Quite. So, you should know, Miss Jordan, that others are going to take my offer in exchange for both their life and for protection from Dunsmuir. I can allow you to see him by gifting you a part of my power. Else, he will hide forever. The mirrors, they are strong.
Mirrors that Tennessee's talked about before.
The very same ones.
He's using them, what, to do crazy stuff with things?
He can hide in plain sight. He can travel through time and hide himself from your memories. You have met with him many times. I can smell it. But he has hidden himself. I could show you if you'd like. You could remember. But for a moment.
Of course, nothing comes for free, so what's the cost?
Sight is nothing. I wish to show you, Jordan, what it is that you are missing out on, and then And only then if you decide to take my offer of continued protection, would we strike a deal.
So you're like some kind of weird drug dealer. The first hit's always free, and after that, you just get hooked. Is that what it is?
It's the greatest drug of them all, Mrs. Jordan. It is knowledge and power. And life.
They say the same thing about opium, but alright.
I am not familiar. But
You just
let me
tried
show
some
you,
time.
and you can tell me.
Alright.
And he suddenly moves in towards you.
No great
and
dealer in
plants
Shanghai.
a kiss on your forehead, and you feel that sandpaper-like tongue.
Married. Sorry. No.
Your
I'm
eyes
not
close.
No.
There's a sudden flash of white light, and you're no longer there.
Thank
Instead,
God. I hope I never remember that.
Instead, this is just after you met Marcus,
Oh,
and you're watching yourself fly on the wall, and you've had a near-death experience with Marcus in that you almost killed him but decided not to.
Yeah.
And you are speaking with the man that you recognize to be Dunsmuir, and this is the conversation about the fact that you're not going to kill Marcus. And let's play that one out. So you're in an office room somewhere, probably Dunsmuir's office.
Yeah, probably.
And he's there with his cap and black suit, his umbrella's on one side, and he smiles warmly as you open the door.
Yeah, while this was going on, Marcus was arranging all the evidence that he had against Dunsmuir. It was like political crimes to be turned in, and assassin as the distraction. Be like, hey, sorry, can't do the job. So yeah, Catherine would walk in, be like, oh, hello, Mr. Dunsmuir.
He smiles and Catherine, and he takes your hand and kisses it. Please take a seat.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid I've got a bit of bad news for you.
Bad news. I very much doubt you could tell me anything that would fail to lift the smile from my face whenever I see you.
Well, you see, it's about Mr. Jordan, the person you ordered to hit on from this time.
Yes.
Well,
the most recent
unfortunately, yeah, the most recent one. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to finish this job for you.
Why, has he escaped? I don't understand. You've never failed before.
It's true. Yeah, there's more of a first time for everything kind of thing. You see, we kind of eloped last night.
I understand. He interrupts you. I understand. He has managed to evade true justice somehow. Don't worry, Miss Jordan. There will always be another, I'm sure. I have another case for you, in fact.
Another case? Who's this one?
Oh, he slides a case file over the table for you. Just another politician that has gone a step too far.
I do hate those politicians. She'll kind of peek into the folder, just kind of waiting, trying to buy some time.
He's clearly going for it. He began to hear what you were saying about the elopement. So I trust that you will be remaining a operative.
100%. Nothing there has changed one bit.
This Marcus, what was he like?
Very charming. Tall. Very persuasive. She's kind of like pulling the collar, a little awkward. Just he had a real good way with words, and well, there's just something in me that I've never really felt before. I've never really had much of a conscience, you could say, but this not so much of a conscience, but feelings in general, really. But there's a little something there, and well, it just hit me hard, you could say.
I don't think I understand.
Well, it was very... It's a very unique situation that will never happen again, I can assure you. As it will, I'm pretty sure it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and you know, me being Catholic and all, you know, don't get remarried once you do it once. So, no.
You're married him.
You know, you'd be surprising. It's surprising how accommodating the Egyptian state is for late night, 2 a.m. elopements. You knew some people.
Egypt.
Very fast. Yep. She kind of looks through the vanilla folder like, oh, well, this one looks pretty ripe target. Get on that right away, then. Unless, of course, you'd prefer another agent to handle this case. But I'm perfectly capable of murdering literally anyone else on the planet, practically. So.
What is it that he has?
I'm sorry, I only glanced down. Guess you could just call it love at first sight. It's also very convenient that he's a foreign diplomat, make it easier to get in and out of places.
So he's powerful. Is that it?
I wouldn't say that. It's just icing on the proverbial marriage wedding cake.
I see.
Should we open up a window? It's a bit warm in here.
Powerful. Very well. I think it's best that you leave.
All right. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Dunsmuir. I'm just going to leave this here, and now you can just fax it or telegram it. I'll just leave, and she's just gonna like.
Never mind.
You sure?
I do not forget easily, Catherine. And I do not forgive.
Terribly sorry, and it'll never happen again. And she'll kind of just close the door behind her and book it down the hall. Really awkward.
I agree.
Much more awkward than I thought it was going to be.
It will not happen again.
And as you watch this scene play out, the being with you brings you back to your room, your house.
As Catherine comes back, she's like, wait, did he have a crush on me? Is that? Or was he just really pissed that I didn't assassinate him?
It would seem as though you had upset him in some manner or form, which he sought to remove from your memory once he had found the powers which he sought.
That was really awkward. Kind of. Oof.
That was rather...
Probably would have barred it from my memory if I could have remembered it anyways. Oof.
You see now that he will never stop following you all. Particularly you and Marcus.
Yep.
Can you imagine what else it is that he has made you do? What he has made your friends do too. What he is doing right now to Marcus.
Making people forget awkward conversations? Like, that was...
Making people forget the terrible things that they have done for him. He has a network of operatives that he does control, but they do not even know it. They do not even remember your conversations, the acts which they perform for him. At least with me, they know who it is that they serve. They know what cause it is that they fight for, that they die for.
And what cause is that? Exactly. What are your motives? I guess I get it. Dunsmuir's pissed at me, and he's out for a vendetta or something, and he's doing all sorts of terrible things. I mean, everyone does terrible things, but what is it
There
you?
was a time where I ruled over an empire. It was vast, powerful, beautiful. That is what I seek again, Catherine. For my lands to be reclaimed. Egypt. The lands of Africa. Maybe even farther.
So you're like some
I wish
kind
for
of
them back. They are my birthright.
pharaoh, then.
I once was a pharaoh. Yes, that is what they called me. And then I became far more. My ambitions are great, Mrs. Jordan, I will not lie.
It's good to have goals.
I wish to reclaim those lands, and more. They will fall under my dominion. I am the rightful ruler. The master, they call me.
And how is Dunsmuir getting in your way? What did you do to piss him off?
Let us say that Dunsmuir wishes for the group of you to pay. And he is leading you on a path which will see to your inevitable punishment by getting in my way. You see, he has set you against me. Every step you have tread has fallen in the way of one of my servants, one of my cults, and you have defeated them. And so
like the
you should think that I would deal with you and give you a terrible punishment. Worse yet, if you were to defeat me, the punishment for you all would be far greater. So, Dunsmuir, he sets you against me. 2 birds with 1 stone is the saying. But you and I, if we were to work together against Dunsmuir, we would be far greater.
I see where you're coming from. I don't like Dunsmuir, you don't like Dunsmuir. You're going to have to kill us all if we get in your way because of Dunsmuir. He's a real pain in the arse, I get it. However, there is a thing. I don't sign any contracts without my husband. So, I mean, I'm gonna say it's pretty tempting. Not gonna lie. Sounds like a pretty good deal. I hate them. You hate them. We both want them dead. But I'm gonna have to hear from Marcus on it first.
There is no contract, Mrs. Jordan. This is not the British government.
I didn't sign on with them either. Just Marcus.
Is to tell me that you wish for my help, and I will give it to you.
And what do you want from me in return? Aside from just killing Dunsmuir.
Killing Dunsmuir is no small task, Mrs. Jordan. It is perhaps the greatest you will ever face. It may consume your life and the lives of your friends. That is what I ask of you. Kill him. End his
Kill the guy
existence.
that's trying to kill me.
He is perhaps the only one that could truly stop me and my empire.
Alright, is there like a timetable on this, or is it just like when the opportunity arises? Because, you know, again, I like to work with contracts, but if we're just going word of mouth kind of thing.
The time approaches. Soon the comets will be seen from the sky.
Comets?
You will understand. The sooner they come. Dunsmuir must die before they reach.
Well, you're weird. And don't ever do that mouth thing on me again. Marcus will be pissed. Absolutely livid. In fact, I'm a little pissed off from that too. But, yeah, I want to kill, killing Dunsmuir. Sounds great.
Good.
He's been a pain in my arse. Time for him to be.
And you may
As
know-
long as you're gonna be less of a pain in the arse. Don't try to kill me. I won't try to kill you.
I have not tried to kill you once, Mrs. Jordan.
Alright. Well, then let's just keep it that way, and I'll try to kill Dunsmuir.
Very good. You may know my name. The one which the mortals called me. Back
The
when I
pharaoh
was
name.
pharaoh. Nyarlathotep. That is what you may call me. Say my name. Speak it. Say the words, Mrs. Jordan.
Like now? Like right now? That's a
Speak.
big mouthful. Can you write it down? Nope. Alright. How do you spell that? Alright.
Speak my name.
Nyarlathotep. Is that it? It's Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep. Is that it? I'm really good if I can see it written down. It's just, my Arabic's real rusty. Marcus is the better one at that.
Very good, Miss Jordan. Then,
Alright.
our agreement is made. If you ever are to need me, speak my name.
God,
I will
let's hope it doesn't
Nyarlathotep
come
will
down to
come.
that.
I have some other of your friends to meet. Some of them are singing. It's my favorite song. I must speak with them. Then
All
I
right,
will
then.
come back for you, Mrs. Jordan. Farewell.
Guess I'll just hang out in my house then till we're done with this.
He's
Right.
gone.
Cool. I guess I'll go make myself some cottage pie. I'm kind of hungry. It's my house.
Koskov. Where's Koskov's safe place? Where's his, like, chill back and relax kind of place?
You know, since we haven't seen it, we've only heard about it. Koskov, you'd probably find him in his apartment in Tula, Russia. His hometown, his base of operations, his home away from home while at home. Mostly because it's one of those nice old like 6-story like square structures, and he has like the top 3 floors on one corner, kind of like dug out as far as like one full like 3-story apartment. So his top floor, where he entertains business and everything, looks very exactly what you think. Very ratty. Just multiple stains on the carpet. The walls are just watermarked and stained all to hell. Very small square windows. He's probably cooking something on a little hot plate, wearing nothing but like maybe just just I don't know the term for the shirt other than a wife beater, but I don't want to use that term. But anyway, he's cooking a little something, and has maybe a little bit of coffee. And he goes into his bedroom, which just has a mattress, no sheets or anything. Goes into the closet, and there's a hole there with a pole running down to the floor below this one. And he swoops down into that and steps out of the walk-in closet into a lavish apartment, white carpet, silken sheets on the bed, and goes out into his living room there to have his morning coffee. Large windows, looking out over the beauty that is Tula, Russia, and he's just reading the morning paper and looking over his empire.
There is, as you look up from your paper, someone or something sitting opposite you on a sofa, and it's time for you to roll a sanity check, Mr. Romanovich. Creature is long, tall, humanoid. You lose 4 points of sanity for seeing it.
Okay.
You can barely see its face. It's blurred. You need to bow your head whenever you speak towards it, as though in reverence.
And he just kind of like tries to not bow his head, and then he like looks over, because you said that we still remember being in the place. And yeah, okay. And so it's all this kind of dawns on Koskov at this moment, and he's sitting there and he like looks at his right fist, and he tries to ignite it.
You can't for a second as you struggle again, and then the creature turns its head and it sets on flame.
Mr. Romanovich, it is a pleasure to finally meet with you. In person.
And who do I have the pleasure of making acquaintance with?
You may know my name after our conversation, depending on how well it goes. For to speak it is to accept my power. That may not be something which you choose to do, Mr. Romanovich, and I give you the professional courtesy of not tricking you into speaking it.
Thank you. Spasibo.
Now, to the business at hand, Kinery has sent you here to speak with me in this place in order for us to assess how much of a threat you really are to us and whether or not you can be useful. For Dunsmuir, he is a true threat.
I have heard this name, though I cannot place this person. Why is he so much a threat?
Of a ghost. He can move through time with the mirrors which he has. He can remove himself from memory and time itself. Very powerful. This individual sets himself against me. For his power, if he were to defeat me, would be apocalyptic.
And what about your power? What does it represent?
Dominion over man. That is what I am a ruler of an empire which belongs to me. It is my birthright.
Okay. So, you want I should kill this man, this Dunsmuir?
That is exactly what I want, Mr. Romanovich. Mrs. Jordan has already agreed to the death of Dunsmuir. His execution has been ordained.
Does she run this by Marcus first?
Marcus is in a place that none of us can reach right now. Dunsmuir has him.
So, what is sketch?
I am not familiar with that saying.
Well, you want me to do this, but
in exchange for my offer of power, that in itself, your acceptance empowers me. You see, the more worshippers that I have, the more servants in my army, the greater my power becomes. Your acceptance not only would see to the death of Dunsmuir, but would also make me stronger. You should know, however, that I wish you no ill. I am a kind, benevolent ruler.
This is so...
I love my servants.
Your servants love to try to kill us, so you understand how this, this seems like, what is word?
That is Dunsmuir's doing, not mine. He has led you along a path of breadcrumbs, which has led you to every one of my cults, my cells, who empower me. In so doing, he has weakened me, and he continues to attempt to do so. You're killing Kinery, Gavagan, Zara Shafiq. That would all lead to my weakening of power. He has seen to it that everywhere you go, you uncover cells of mine, cults, and see to their timely death. He works through agents who are very aware of what it is that they are telling, and then they forget. The white hair, he has led you on the path. He has been fed by Dunsmuir, though he does not know it. Do you not think it strange that an agent of the British government were to offer you deals, being who you are?
Well, yes, but, I mean, and like he lights his hand on fire. Stranger things have happened, so I was just like, I thought we had kind of moved to a new level, and all the old grievances would be washed away, things like that. Exalted is the word, that we had been exalted.
I'm afraid that as a maker of deals myself, Romanovich, I can tell you when a deal is too good to be true. Dunsmuir has fed this information to the heir, and the same way that he has spoken with you and you forget, he has done it with him, so that you would find my cults and kill them, all the while thinking that you are solving evil, when in fact you are dismantling my empire, which I have taken so long to build.
Wow, that's a lot to take in.
Once he has discarded you, he will be done. His power will be great, and the things he will do to this world, to my servants, are unspeakable.
So you're saying he started this whole thing, this Peru thing, he was head of that? Also?
Why was it that you came to Peru, Mr. Romanovich?
I was searching for my sister.
Exactly, Mr. Romanovich. And who was it, ask yourself this, who stole her and brought her to Peru in order to bring you there? Perhaps you would like me to show you.
Show me. Show me what?
He moves suddenly towards you, plants a kiss on your forehead, and a leathery sandpaper-like tongue bears its way into your skull. There's a white flash of light, and suddenly you are somewhere else, a fly or a maggot on the wall. And you're in some kind of container. You immediately get a sense of being on a ship container. There's movement and there's a sound of waves distantly in the echoing chamber. There's a singular light bulb in the center of this, somehow lit, on a chair, bound and gagged, and bruised and bloodied is your sister, Stasha. And standing behind her is Dunsmuir, with a cap umbrella set to one side. He's whispering in her ear, telling her things. You can barely hear what he's saying. And then he goes over towards a desk, which apparently he's set up in here. Top drawer, there are maggots. And he begins to feed them to her and force them down her throat. And as that scene fades away, you find yourself trembling with fury and rage, and the creature opposite you folds his arms in satisfaction.
Do you now see the evil Dunsmuir. He'll lead you on this breadcrumb trail to try and defeat me. He dares to challenge my authority. He kills with wanton abandon. He has taken much from you, Mr. Romanovich, and vengeance must be had. He has taken much from me as well. I was very fond of my servants in New York, and I do not blame you for their deaths. I blame him.
Well, it seems that we both have enemy, and you offer a deal. Mayhap I should offer a deal as well.
I will listen to your offer, Mr. Romanovich.
We'll see, if your cultists were better armed, then maybe we would not have busted in and killed them so easily. So, maybe we could work something out.
Mr. Romanovich, your weapons have much advanced since last I was on this earth. Before the spear, the shield, but now they are different. No longer are there chariots of war. There are these cars which you send flaming against my people.
Chariots of fire.
Yes, these modern chariots of fire, as you put them, have been very destructive. I would like many of those for my armies.
Oh, that we can do, my friend. So, what is the deal you are offering? What are your terms?
You will kill Dunsmuir. In doing so, you will empower me and allow me to rule over my empire. I will not harm you, or any of your people or friends. You will be allowed to live, and you will be given great wealth and power. In exchange for your chariots, I will give to you something that you ask from me. Whether that be money, power, or knowledge.
What about my sister?
When I am risen, Mr. Romanovich, I will have the power over life and death. I would be able to bring her back. Dunsmuir has her soul right now. I can free her.
Well, it sounds like we have a deal then, Mr. What shall I call you?
Nyarlathotep is the name which was given to me.
Mr. Nyarlathotep, have drink with me.
I do not usually imbibe these things, but so I will. And he also like grabs out this, you know, it's almost like a sloth-like hand, like way too long for human fingers, and snares it, gulps it down into the black void of his face. We have but one other of your friends to meet. I will be back for you, Mr. Romanovich.
You have good day.
Suddenly, he moves out with a preternatural swiftness and is gone. Tennessee, you're in Lucy. Driving along, I'm just imagining Tennessee driving along a highway somewhere, like a dirt road track, just gunning it, on his way somewhere or other. Thank you, Cthulhu Kid, as well, for Costco's business sense gets a crit.
It's an abandoned neighborhood in Los Angeles. The money has moved away from the outskirts of town, and that area has become very dry as the waters move towards the center of the city. This is where he grew up, and there's not much there now. Squatters and run-down shacks and buildings, and he's just gunning it down this road. He gets to the edge of the little shanty town, and he turns around and drives back through it again, like he's trying to chase out memories that are clinging to the back of his mind.
Mm-hmm. You don't remember being there a passenger, but from the back seat something emerges and slithers and crawls behind you while you're at the steering wheel. It's a long creature, humanoid, almost a man. You can roll me a sanity check, Mr. Tennessee Gray.
Cool.
Nice. Oh, that's 6 back. Just 1d6. Let's roll. Oh, sorry, it's 6. I rolled better on the 1d6 than the 2d6. So.
Right?
I think that's a temporary insanity.
Safe to say
that
this temp insanity is is that you'll even listen to this creature and perhaps forget where you really are or something like that. Yeah. The creature speaks to you.
Tennessee Gray. A pleasure to meet you at last in person.
He looks in the rear view mirror. Can he see this figure
It's like the
through the mirror?
black void of the face, but the figure is clearly there.
Tennessee turns the wheel, slides the brakes closed, and tries to spin out and see if he can throw this creature into the side of the car, the back seat, throw him off of him.
It doesn't seem to move with gravity, if that makes sense. As you toss this car around, it remains motionless, like it's just a figment of your imagination.
The car comes to a skidding stop in the middle of the road, and he's staring off now through the front windshield, and he can feel his heart beating faster and faster and faster. He still stays staring at the mirror, though. All right, who are you? What's going on?
My name will become apparent to you, depending on how our conversation goes, Mr. Curry. I am here because Thomas Kinery sent for me to have our conversation together.
Tennessee tries to remember. Does he remember Kinery? Does he remember
Yeah, you recognize
Miser
it.
House?
Yeah.
Right. Your Kinery called you his master, right?
That is true. I am master of many. A ruler of kinds. A king of kings.
You certainly have a high view of yourself there, and whatever we're doing right
honest,
now.
Mr. Gray. I am the ruler of many an empire. Once, my lands and peoples were great, strong. Rulers we were. We defeated many a nation. But now, on my death, I became something else. I wish to return.
Return from where? Where are you now?
I am in a place that can only be described as somewhere, and yet nowhere. I am kept alive by the following of my worshippers, of the cults that you have encountered.
So what you're trying to tell me is that their belief in you is why you exist at all.
I suppose, in a way that is true. Is that not the same for any god?
Well, I can't say I've ever met a god before. I
am not
perhaps
truly a god, but my people do see me as such. And in truth, perhaps that is what a god really is. But I digress, Mr. Gray. I have come here today at the behest of Kinery in order to ask you a favor. A deal that many of your friends have already taken.
Well, you've got my attention.
Good. Dunsmuir. You have heard his name. He is the one who controls the mirrors. Lemming, the doctor that you met in New York. One of his creatures, I suppose you could call him. One of his followers, though he barely knows it. He uses the mirrors Mr. Gray, in order to set you and your friends against me, his opponent. He has been using you like pawns to take out my followers, one by one, in an attempt to weaken me. You understand what I am saying, Mr. Gray?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't personally have any beef with this Dunsmuir figure. I don't know who he is.
You have met him many a time. He is the same one that captured Stasha and sent her to Peru in order for Koskov to arrive. He is the same one who captured Mr. Fawcett. I believe you're a familiar of this gentleman. You look up to him a great deal. He went missing.
Yeah, Percy Fawcett, you're saying Dunsmuir captured him? He's in the Amazon right now. He's on an expedition.
Are you so certain of that, Mr. Gray?
I suppose I'm not.
I do not lie, Mr. Gray. I deal in facts and truth. I have no need to deceive you, for I could crush you if I wished. I do not wish for that, though. I wish to use Dunsmuir's own tools against him. You see, the white hair has been fed information by Dunsmuir, though he does not truly know it. He has set you against my cult here in England and in New York. The trails which you have followed have been set out by Dunsmuir. He wishes to become something greater. He works for something greater. If he were to defeat me, Mr. Gray, the power which you would hold, unspeakable, unknowable power over all man, destruction, death, chaos, that is what he would bring.
And I'm just supposed to take your word for that?
As I said, I do not lie.
And I'm supposed to take your word on that?
Yes. If you can prove any of the things which I have said are false, then you could say that I was a liar. But I have not lied to you or any of your friends. Ask me anything, Mr. Gray, and I will tell you.
His heart is beating against his chest, and he closes his eyes and he says, "All right. What is it you're afraid of?"
Irrelevancy. And, insofar as that goes, Dunsmuir as well. I fear a worthy opponent, for I am no fool. He will see to my destruction via you, if I am not careful. And hence now, as Kinery has given me the chance, I intervene. To show you that I am a honest person.
He opens his eyes again. All right, so you said something about a deal. What exactly is it you're offering, and what is it you're asking?
I offer you the protection from Dunsmuir. A part of my power, a sliver of it, will be enough to prevent him from being able to hide from your minds. In exchange, I wish for you to kill him. End his existence on this world and any other which he has a grasp. And if you were to agree to this deal, Mr. Gray, it will also give me power, for I would have another follower, another servant. This would fuel my progress greatly. Even now, with Catherine and Mr. Romanovich's followings, I feel strength returning to my bones. You would be a great addition to us, Mr. Gray. And when my empire ruled, and I was back in my rightful seat as master, you would be given anything that you wanted, and you would be allowed to go free.
Well, that's a big offer you're making there, but I'm afraid you got the wrong guy. I'm not a murderer, and I'm not a bad person, and I don't care about a war between two would-be gods.
But you are inexplicably caught within it, Mr. Grey. Every path you have followed down has been starting a war against me. You have trespassed against me and my people. You have destroyed them, killed them. Many have suffered, because Dunsmuir has set you against me. Now, I do not blame you. You were faultless, not aware of what was happening. But you have killed and hurt my people, and me. I love my servants. I do not easily forgive trespasses against them. But do not think that you are blameless. You have hurt many, and you will continue to do so in this witch hunt of yours.
Your servants are monsters.
I do not see them as monsters. They are merely trying to build my empire again, and doing so must be done in blood, for many do not understand.
Well, I appreciate the conversation, but I'm going to have to politely decline your offer and continue on about my way.
Oh. Come, Tennessee. Reconsider. Think again. For me, I wish only for your protection, and I cannot promise that if you do not make this agreement with me here today. Please. Think of your friends. Think of Marcus, who I can help. Think of the lives you
Marcus.
save.
Marcus isn't my friend, and I have no reason to trust you. I'm sorry, but you're not telling me the truth. I don't care what you say. You're a liar.
I have not lied to you about anything, Mr. Grey. I have been clear in my intentions. I will rule. I will have my empire. I will kill those who I deem fit. Those who get in my way and prevent me from power, like Dunsmuir, who uses minions like you to do his bidding without them even knowing. I am clear.
Not Dunsmuir's minion. I'm not. I ain't nobody's minion.
You do not yet understand it. Perhaps I can show you. See how he has manipulated you at every stretch of this path that you have walked down. Then you would see the truth of the situation as I do.
No, I think I'm good here. And
He
Tennessee
suddenly pulls you in,
try to-
and there's a kiss planted on your forehead, and there's a leathery tongue which starts to work its way and bore its way into your skull. Flash of lights,
Yeah.
eyes go wide, and then you're somewhere else. And as you, your eyes open, you're a fly on the wall. And there's the white hair in a nice office somewhere in Whitehall. Opposite him is Dunsmuir, the man that you recognize now to have met previously. And that comes back to you for a moment. The conversation that you had on the ship with him, where he told you about the car that he was a fan of and gifted back to you. That clicks with you as you see him here again. And he's wearing the same black suits, hat, and his umbrella is at one side.
The white hair sits opposite him, and the white hair is in a strange state of affairs. He is standing rigidly upright in his seat, and he is staring blankly across the room at Dunsmuir, who seems to be speaking to him. And he says, I want you to go on the ship that they are on, and you will make them a deal. You will show them the different cases. I have led little breadcrumbs for them. The one to buckle my shoe. Tell them about that there is a case that the British government wishes for them to solve. Make sure that they find Mahoney, make sure that they find Shafiq. I wish for them to learn. Eventually they will find their way. Kill Gavigan and the others. Is that understood? And the white hair blankly nods. And Dunsmuir says, good. Good. Picks up his umbrella, throws it over his arm, and begins to jauntily move out of the room. A few moments later, the white hair comes out of his trance and quickly rubs what seems like sleep out of his eyes and shakes his head, as though he had just fallen asleep for a moment or had been in a daydream. You're back in the car with the creature. We'll see how it has led you here. Oh yes, wait, sure. What I show you is not lies, Mr. Grey. There is a truth in you. I sensed that you knew it when you saw Dunsmuir. You have met with him before, though you do not remember it. Whether you are willing or not, you are his pawn.
You're asking me to choose you over him. I don't know anything about either one of you except for... at least he's human.
You think that he is human? Think again. Do you think a being such as him could survive the powers of the mirror? No. He is being fed by something else. Part of him is part of it. I do not know what it is. It is why I am hoping for us to work together against Dunsmuir. Perhaps I can change your mind.
Got a counter offer for you.
I will listen to your offer.
You let me and my friends go. You let us leave. You let us figure out Dunsmuir on our own, without any strings attached, without any IOUs. And you don't have to worry about us killing all of your worshippers, all of your cultists, all of the ones that make you exist.
Here is the thing, Mr. Grey. Two of your friends have already made deals. One of them has armed me with great chariots of fire and weapons. I do not believe that you and your friends alone could now face against my friends, my servants. But I do appreciate what it is that you are saying. If you will leave here and deal with Dunsmuir, then as far as I am concerned, all is well and good with us. But I will not lie to you and say that by letting you leave here and letting you leave Kinery, that you would not owe me something. You would owe me something.
No. I'm not going to owe you anything.
Very well, Mr. Grey. Then I cannot guarantee your safety in return when you are back with Kinery.
Well, whoever you are, you better hope that I'm not safe when I get back there. Because if I survive, I'm coming after you. And I'm going to make sure my friends are all right.
It is a very foolish mistake to make, Mr. Grey. Do not idly make threats against me. Your friends are already with me They are now my followers. They have sworn to me. They have spoken my name.
Well, I think we're done here.
Very well. Then best of luck when you return. If Kinery falls, so be it.
Tennessee will start the car and start driving and hope that this thing goes away.
As soon as it came, it was gone. You drive away. Meanwhile, on a different layer of hell, there is Marcus Jordan. He, however, isn't dealing with Nyarlathotep. Marcus, run us through what it was you were doing. I think you went the previous day and you were going to do some library research.
Yep, library research.
Sweet. So you're in the library and you're reading your book and you're doing some research, I think, on Miser House and maybe Gavigan and the Penhew Foundation. And it runs pretty late. So around the time that Catherine, Lucy, and Costigan, Tennessee were going to the island on Walton-on-the-Naze, we'll say, everyone else in the library is gone. It's so late that probably there's only a few librarians still around. And you hear a tapping of what sounds like a cane coming from behind you. As you turn and see, it's not a cane, it is in fact an umbrella that seems to be tip-tapping the way through the library. There's a man in a dark black suit and a hat that you would recognize to be Mr. Dunsmuir. Little tap, tap, tap through the library. He steps towards you.
Marcus leans back in the chair that he's in and puts his feet up on the table and lights a cigarette.
Do you have a light?
No.
Dunsmuir sets his umbrella opposite you on a table and flattens out his suit in a very careful manner as he sits down.
Marcus, it's good to see you again.
It is shitty to see you. You attempted to have me murdered the last time. So...
Oh,
fuck off, perhaps?
Forgive and forget. Isn't that what we should be doing for Catherine's sake?
No.
That is a shame. You see, I was hoping that I could come here and we could reconcile our differences.
Walk me through what you were hoping to do. You were hoping to come in here. I would embrace you as the brother that you wish me to be. We would skip throughout the city. Perhaps take in the sights. You could regale me with the tale of how you wanted me dead, and I could regale you with the way that I avoided that.
Perhaps something like that. A fantasy, perhaps. Well,
perhaps.
That is a shame. Could have been a lot different, you know.
I could be dead. You're right.
Different. Don't take that personally.
Of course not.
What is it you're reading?
Better Homes and Gardens. What are you doing here?
Sometimes I like to come by and have this conversation with you. He looks you up and down. Every time. Same. I think it's just
what is it?
Leftover of my... I don't know, nostalgia maybe? I was always jealous of you, Marcus. I always have been. Something that you have, you know? Something about you. I don't know what it is. It's your courage, maybe? Power?
Again, Dunsmuir. What do you want?
Just to see you again. You see, things are moving fast now. Faster than you or I can really keep up with. Your friends have unfortunately fallen into a snare I did not intend for them to fall into. You understand? I was hoping that they would be more prepared. They were not. So I find myself now in need of leverage again against my opponent. So that's what
Who is your opponent?
Speak his name.
Humor me.
If we fall into madness.
Okay, so he who should not be named is your opponent? And if I am to understand you right, which I'm sure you're being honest with me, that the rest of my group, my wife included, have fallen into this nameless being's sway. Does that sound about right?
He looks quite worried. He has her. Too soon. It's too early. Stars are not aligned. Comets haven't even started to fall yet. So.
For the first time, Marcus takes a long drag on his cigarette. Now, that's the first thing that you've said that I believe. Because I know you've always liked Catherine. Perhaps loved her. Is that why you're here? Do you need me to save my own wife?
Maybe there was once something between us, but no longer. I need her to be safe.
As do I.
Not out of a feeling of love. It is vengeance I seek. And to be frank with you, Marcus, I cannot let him win. Not this time. So.
Okay. A pissing contest seems to be your modus operandi. But if Catherine is in danger and you have come here to, for whatever reason, warn me and solicit my aid, then let us stop with the reminiscing and the stroll down memory lane, and instead you tell me what I need to do to save my wife. Out of love or vengeance or whatever it is that you wish it to do, I will do it because she is my wife.
Don't worry, we have as much time as we need. Perk of being me. Gavigan. It has to be Gavigan. He dies tonight.
Gavigan has Catherine?
The creature's power is directly linked back to his followers. Yes? This thing which has them, it needs followers. Leaders of cults, you've been killing them for me. You understand? I've sent you to every one of them to kill them. You've yet failed to kill Gavigan. And so I'm going to have to come out and say it. Kill him, Catherine will be saved, perhaps for a moment. Give her time to escape Miser House. Then Kinery will fall, and then Shafiq. And then we move on to the next country, and then we kill more of them. How many times do I have to tell you, Marcus? They must all die.
You've never told me before. Keep your head straight,
Dunsmuir. 1,000
Dunsmuir.
times, you're just too much of an idiot to remember. If I allowed you to remember...
Who's the idiot now, Dunsmuir?
Kill Gavigan.
We have all the time in the world, so keep your emotions in check, good men. How would you propose I kill Gavigan? Would you want me to blow up his building or something?
There are tools. I have.
He places a knife on a table. It's a long, curved, sort of kukri type knife. This will kill him. Perhaps only this. Gavigan is well protected.
Where is he now?
Catherine went there. The secret passage in his office. He is down there. The beast is in Essex. It is just him.
That's not where she is, though. You're sending me to Gavigan to kill him?
There is no time.
There.
There is no time.
You said there's all the time in the world.
Here, in this conversation, I can pause. But not for long. Outside of this space, at my other house, they have protections, as does Gavigan's office. The creature is not foolish. It knows where I cannot go, and so I must work through agents.
Who do you work for? Or through?
If you are to kill Gavigan, it will weaken the creature's hold long enough. Just long enough to give them a chance to escape. Right now, it will be offering them deals, bargains.
You've explained that. You've explained that. I asked you, who have you been working through?
Marcus, if I told you, you would have to forget this whole conversation. Do not ask me something I cannot answer you. This is your wife's life at stake.
How many times have we got this right then? If this is so many times that you've had this conversation with me. Something about repetition usually means there's failure on the other end. You don't do something over and over again.
So far.
But this conversation about Gavigan, how many times am I successful in what I'm going to do? Or have I ever been?
We have not spoken of Gavigan before.
I propose something.
Now we are here.
If you are having conversation, then I have one further thing that I will ask of you, and then I will kill Gavigan for you. I wish to remember this conversation, all those to come, and you cannot hide from me.
What's to stop me from walking away right now? Letting her die.
He takes the last of his cigarette and burns it down. You said it yourself, my man. You want to win.
Fine. He goes into a pocket, takes out a small stopwatch, passes over the table towards you.
And how do I use this?
You don't. It will allow you to remember.
Just like brothers.
Find Gavigan. Kill him. And free the creature's control from her. Before.
Where's Catherine?
Gods be damned, before they agree to something.
I will. Just tell me where Catherine is. I intend to kill Gavigan, and I'm going for her.
Miser House, Walton-on-the-Naze. Small island, but they will be gone from there. If you kill Gavigan.
Do you have any more aid other than a knife?
That is more power than you will ever see in your life.
I could really do with a car full of kerosene, but a knife will have to do.
Lucy. Yes, you can have her.
She doesn't care for me much.
Things got complex. She's bound to him.
I don't think Tennessee cares for me much either.
Perhaps not. He may be my last hope.
Isn't that funny?
He pushes the knife closer towards you. Take it. Kill him. Free her. Then we will speak again.
And I will remember.
For now.
I'm sure we'll have this conversation again. Hopefully I will remember. For if I forget after this, maybe I'll forget to be nice next time.
Best of luck.
You as well.
He picks up his umbrella and taps away. And when he's gone, you remember him.
He lights a cigarette, tears out the page of Miser House from the book, any information that he received on the Penhew Foundation, and he walks out front. Obviously with the knife.
There's a car out front. You recognize it to be Lucy. She looks rather demonic now, though.
Well, shit. Hello, Lucy.
The car grumbles as though in response, but it's just a cough of an engine running exhaust.
He'll walk up and put his hand on the hood. I hate you. I don't like driving in you. Your owner's insane. But we need to save him because he's probably with my wife. So, for at least next, and he takes out the stopwatch even though it's probably not running, but looks at it anyway. Mm-hmm. For the next hour or two, perhaps we can be co-workers.
Sort of spurts out what sounds like a chuckle of exhaust fuel.
He gets in the driver's seat and just says, "Would you like me to drive? Or..." And then he waits and pushes the button and...
the car like rumbles forwards on its own accord now. She knows where she needs to go.
Shit.
And meanwhile, after Tennessee Gray has this conversation, as promised, Nyarlathotep returns to Dr. Ernest back in your room.
Ernest, I have returned as promised. Perhaps with the knowledge now that your two friends, Catherine Jordan and Kosko Romanovich, have made a deal with me that could change your mind.
And what did they agree?
They agreed to kill Dunsmuir for me, in exchange for empowering me further with another servant.
I wish I could say that I'm surprised, but those two seem to have really enjoyed killing people.
True
See,
enough. This one person is particularly evil, Dr. Ernest, and he has led you to kill many.
Yes, I am aware, but you see, I'm not a killer. I'm not.
In an army, Dr. Ernest, we had healers and medics, those who could bind the wounds of the soldiers when they came back from their chariots. Bruised, beaten.
I have already done that. Yes, I have already done
I need such a healer in my army, Dr. Ernest. My soldiers, Koskov and Catherine, They will need healing.
Can I ask a question?
You
All
may.
these people that don't follow you, that don't, what happens to them?
My empire, you mean? I will rule over them, and they will love
Yes,
me.
but what if they don't? What if they choose not to love you? What if they choose to love something else, another god?
I do not
family?
understand what you are saying.
Yes, I didn't think you would.
How could one not love their god, their king, their master?
Yeah, that's what
When I ruled, Ernest, all loved me. Have you
Indeed,
not
but
seen
the
the
world...
devotion which my followers have for me? They love
Oh,
me
yeah, I
earnestly, deeply.
Oh.
They praise me.
Oh, I
As shall be
absolutely
the case.
have, yes. Normally that's called brainwashing or fanatical devotion. You know, it's something along.
What is wrong with this?
I suppose to the person doing it, not nothing, but yeah. I'm afraid the answer's still no. I like to have my own mind. I could not do what you are asking of me. By the way, you didn't tell me the other two. What about Mr. Grey? What did he say? I assume he told you to, as the Americans say, stick it. Is that what they say? I think they say something like that.
I am not familiar with these sticks that the
No,
Americans
nor am
have.
I, really. But I assumed he refused. Yes.
He has so far refused my deal. That is true.
Hmm.
His punishments will be great. It is a shame his death will now be ordained, if he is not to follow, and he is to die.
Well, it'd be an awful shame for him to die alone now, won't it?
Perhaps so. There will be kinship in your two deaths. I will have to send you back now, Ernest. I hope that you'll find peace in your death. Perhaps I will come to you then.
I hope not.
One day, Ernest, you will love me.
But not today.
He moves in swiftly, plants a kiss on your forehead, and that same tongue bores his way into your skull, and you return back to the Miser house.
Come on, lad.
And Catherine, Nyarlathotep returns. Servant, your time back on Earth has been called for.
Can we do with like a different name than that?
Perhaps so. Seeing as you will be a champion of mine, I will call you my champion.
Alright, I'm okay with that. It just sounds a little bit less degrading, I guess.
If you prefer, executioner.
Oh, that has a nice
There are
ring
many
to it.
roles within my army. Very good. Then, executioner, I send you back to Earth.
Alright.
Be careful.
Oh, always.
And as before, plants a kiss on the forehead, the tongue bores into your skull.
Oh, please, no, damn it.
And then Koskov. Suddenly, Nyarlathotep is back.
Mr. Wolmanovich, your time here is done.
Ugh. It's about time. Breakfast was done an hour ago.
My minions and servants will be in touch with you in order for you to arm them sufficiently with the chariots of war which you have promised us.
Okay. And so I'm taking you are going to be sending me back now?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, one question. This man Kinery, I do not like what he has done to me. Can I kill him?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Kinery's death is irrelevant.
Okay,
A word
spasibo.
of warning though, those which he commands will cause great pain to you. You must be careful.
Do you mind if I kill them as well?
I would not mind, though I think you would find them useful.
Okay. I'll play it by ear.
Pretty good. And he in towards you, tongue, forehead, your back.
Ugh.
Last, but by no means least, Tennessee Grey. Nyarlathotep is back. This time in the suit next to you. And turns his long, swivelly head.
Greetings again, Mr. Grey. The time has come to send you back.
Slows the car down to a stop and doesn't look aside to him. All right. We're going to see how this all plays out then, right?
I suppose we are, Mr. Grey. It would pain me greatly if you and I were to set our wills against one another. I entreat you to reconsider your threats of death towards me and my friends. For they would in turn, you would have to destroy Catherine and Koskov. My champions.
That's the thing there. Look, pal. I don't believe anything you've told me except for one thing. And that's that you only exist because your followers are alive. So let's see how this plays out.
Very well, Mr. Grey. Best of luck to you. If you are to seek out every one of my cults, you will be on Earth for hundreds of years. I am always building new soldiers. I have just gained 2 more champions today.
Well, let's get on with it then.
He moves in suddenly, slaps your forehead, and the group of you are back in Miser House. And again, Kinery is in the room with the 3 men, and as all set to move one way or another, scene cuts over to Marcus, whose Lucy is driving herself towards Le Penhu Foundation, and the car rumbles to a stop just outside. You see the light on in Gavigan's office. Step out of the car with a knife in one hand, and that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep, with our friends having made cut deals and made new alliances, friendships, joined an army of darkness, or just got slapped in the forehead a bunch of times. That's where we're going to leave things off for tonight. If you guys in the chat there enjoyed it, please do let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, you can like the video, you can subscribe, let us know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions about today's episode, and what on earth is going to happen next week as well. Same time, of course, of Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, where you can join here live on twitch.tv/EncounterRoleplay. Another big thank you goes to Jill Odin and the Cthulhu Kid for all of the donations and assistance to the party there. Jill gave Marcus that pocket watch, which has been woven in pretty nicely. And of course, we've got all the mini-me's to deal with next week, whether or not they burn in flames or perhaps find a way to survive. Life finds a way. But thank you there for the bits, Cthulhu Kid. But let's go around the cast and the crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? And where can we find you guys online? Or of course, if you're watching live in the chat, stick around. We've got Warhammer, the Spite of the Witch King coming up in a few moments' time. We have a great fun, dark fantasy game. But Greg, big episode for Marcus. How was that one, friend?
It was fun, man. It was fun. I liked getting to actually go one-on-one with Dunsmuir and not die. I like the not having the sanity roll too. That was kind of fun. I like the not getting slurped. Again, I'm checking a lot of boxes on this episode.
Win-win, yeah.
And I'm thinking I like it. I got a knife. I got a pocket watch. I got Lucy gave me a ride. And it was good. And I had fun. And you know, it's just a small price to pay to break into a highly fortified office building and corporate complex and run somebody through with a knife. But hey, you know, small price you pay for being me.
Big deal.
Anyway, Grimjack21502 on the Twitters, Tales from the Grim on the Twitch. Join us over there for some madcap fun, but always be here from 2 to 5 Eastern on Wednesday afternoons, because it is, was, and forever will be where it's at. See you next week.
Amazing, fantastic. And Lindy.
Oh my goodness, that was such a good episode. It went completely different than how I thought it was going to. Completely different, and oh man, I don't know if it's any better than I thought it was going to go. I felt like people agreed to different things, and we had some people who were just like, no, I'm my own person, and then we've got the two basically murderers who are like, man, I don't see why not. I can't wait to see how all that plays out. I just hope the conversation between Marcus and Catherine, when they finally converge next week and tell each other what kind of stuff went on, that it's less awkward than Catherine telling Dunsmuir that she married Marcus instead of killing him. But you can find me being a lot less awkward than that on the internet most of the time, at LaughLoveLindy on Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff. I play in and /DM about a dozen tabletop RPGs over all of the Twitches and stuff, so just follow me on Twitter to find out where I'm going live where.
Fantastic. And Tom, big episode for Lucian again. How was that, my friend?
It was a lot of fun. I do love these episodes where you get to go into the mind, quite literally sometimes, of the characters. You get to see the personalities and their wants and what they hold true to themselves, whether or not they're just mercenary, they don't give a shit, or they have morals, or they don't have morals, or whatever. It just gives a very nice insight into the character and insight into the villains as well. I think we learned pretty much the most we had about the villains in this one episode than we have previously before, because it's so hard to find information about it unless they want to reveal themselves. So that was fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait for that moment to see how Greg gets into that highly defensible, finds that place, goes down and jobs Gavigan. That'll be quite entertaining for him to figure that all out. But I have faith. I have faith in him. Nothing bad could possibly happen whatsoever. As long as it stops us being eaten by a giant hairy dog that's on fire. Myself, I am Redundant UK. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter. I stream. I do lots of lovely little things here and there. Go check me out, and I'll see you next week.
Fantastic. And Pruitt, how was that for Koskov?
Oh, are you kidding? It's great. He made a weapons duel with Nyarlathotep. So, what could be better? Second best deal he's ever scored in his life. So, it was close. But yeah, I look forward to seeing how this all shakes out next week. We're gonna have like a whole nice Civil War thing. We'll meet in Germany at an airport and duke it out. I'll call Spider-Man. It'll be awesome. But we'll have to put that on pause and see what happens next week. I am Pruitt, one half of WebDM. We do advice videos on YouTube. You can check that out there. We have our video that just came out during this episode. In fact, it's all about Ravnica. So, check that out if you're into it. I also play on games on both here and WebDM, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, I'm doing Octung Cthulhu, the Modifius 2D20 system. It's pretty fucking awesome. Kind of play testing through that. And coming up here soon, I feel I have to mention it on Greg's channel, Tales from the Grim, little Highlander action, Cypher system. So be on the lookout for that here in the next couple weeks, because it will be fucking awesome. So can't wait till next week.
Fantastic, awesome. And last but not least, then Don.
I love the episode. I liked, like what Tom said, getting to learn more about the villains and kind of see how I can kind of piece a little bit more together in my mind of how their motivations are coming into play. I liked all the individual scenes with everybody, and I'm looking forward to what seems like it's going to be probably some sort of pretty big showdown of some sort next week. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at Donathan Fry. I write stuff and I play in other games. I DM a Black Roses Bloom. It is a dark fantasy Dragonlance 5th edition game. It's later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tales from the Grim, Greg's channel. That's cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. I feel like we've been building up to something the past few weeks here with the story, and it feels like it's probably coming to a head next week. So I can't wait for that.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, yeah, for my own part, I have really been enjoying this episode to get and see what the various party members hold dearest to them and what they're willing to sacrifice and sell in exchange for a chance at Dunsmuir. So I'm very excited to see where we go next week with it, and to have a bit of a throwdown here with Kinery. Nyarlathotep is absolutely just the fucking mummy, which is brilliant. This is my favorite thing about Nyarlathotep. He's a mix between the dude from the Mummy and the dude from 300, just like mixed together. I'm a benevolent god, and he's just great because he's like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm gonna have an empire. I don't give a shit. And there's something I quite enjoy about how blasé he is about just ruling over a fucking empire. That I appreciate. So I'm looking forward to him getting into some Anaxinamoon scenes later on in the adventure, I'm sure. But until then, we're gonna have to wait until next week to see what machinations these guys get up to next time on the show. We've got Warhammer coming up here in just a few minutes time, so thank you guys for watching. We'll stick with you for that. And until next time, try not to troll too many now ones. We want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye!